anyways, thank you for reading, everybody. We've been working on this play for about 7 years. It was better than watching the Lions games every Sunday. We'd get together and we said, let's do something useful. So here we are. Lions still suck, but we came up with a script. I've been obsessed with Fiddler on the Roof since I was a little kid, singing Rich Man with the 8-track tape, and it always seemed to change in the middle of the track, in the middle of the song. So I got used to that back in the 8-track days. So it's been part of my life forever. I saw it at Northland Theater years ago when it first came out, and I thought Topol was just the best thing in the world. And suddenly I got little music boxes and other little trinkets from the family about Fiddler on the Roof and Tevye. So, and then later on, I was lucky enough, I've performed Tevye 5 times. I'm a drama teacher at the Frankel Jewish Academy. So I've been there for 21 years. I've directed it only once there. I'd like to do it like every other year because I'm obsessed with it. But now that we wrote this new, and I'll let you talk with my co-writer here, the rabbi. Okay. All right. So anyways, we're just thrilled. I guess being a writer, the biggest thing I'd like to come away from this is really getting your feedback on if anything didn't make sense. I'm pretty confident I'm in good shape. We've rewrote it. We wrote it like a couple months ago and took out about 25 pages. And really tried to shorten it. But what we really want to make sure is there's that continuity, and that if you're relating to these characters, again, it's in early 1900s, but what we like is the troubles back then are still the troubles today. The scenery has changed, the players have changed, but it's the same tunes and the same struggles that come along, and they seem to repeat. So we like that idea. I always wanted to know what happened to Tevye and his family when he left Anatevka. So we kind of went through a lot of Sholem Aleichem's writings as well. So it's really inspired by him as much as it's secretly inspired by my experience, seeing the musical Fiddler on the Roof. But our intention was to take Sholem Aleichem and honor him as he is the narrator in this. And it's his world. And we were really excited to write it. So I think I'm going to stop, and I think my co-writer here is going to speak for a moment. And again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I am so thrilled to hear this out loud. So I'm an actor and a director and a lover of theater. So thank you, everybody. Really appreciate it. Yep.
Hi, my name is Boruch, and help Mitch put the story together, and don't want to keep things waiting. We'd love to have your feedback.
Tell them what you do.
I'm a rabbi and a teacher at the Frankel Jewish Academy. We study Jewish law and ethics. Kids have Bible lessons. And this is kind of like 1910. And the big dream of America hits everyone differently. And that's what we wanted to show. And the connection, of course, is that Tevye is the center. Tevye is the man of continuity of the generations. And I think we're ready to hear a story.
Okay. So that's pretty much what we wanted to share as the writers. So again, if there's anything more, Chuck, we're supposed to say or do, or if anybody has any questions.
That's good. We had time to go through some pronunciations before everyone got here, so hopefully we're good there. We'll take a short 10 to 15 minute break at the end of the first act in case people need to get a bathroom break, food, things of that nature. And then at the end of the second act, we turn over back to the playwrights to give feedback. So Cheryl, if you are ready to go, looks like all the readers are here, and you may begin.
Act 1 prologue, the man behind the fountain pen. We hear a fountain pen writing, scratching onto paper. The lights come up stage right. Sholem Aleichem is sitting at a desk holding a large fountain pen, talking to himself as he writes. Near him is a plate with the knish. Sholem Aleichem is smiling as he writes. Looking up from his writing, he puts down his fountain pen, picks up the knish, and takes a generous bite.
So good. So good. So delicious. Well, have you ever enjoyed a knish? Try finding a genuine recipe to make this taste of paradise. Not even on your fakakta internet. My beloved mother's recipe had some dough, a pinch of tatsabella, an onion, and a potato that lets itself be mashed. A pinch of salt, a kazetchla of pepper, a schmeck of garlic, and it's time for the oven. Ah, so good. Bake it and have this lump of dough magically grows into a knish. Now have what my bubby and Zyli, may they rest in peace, always served to me with love. This knish and the fretzers, a fretzer is a, well, you know what I mean. Say?
Crosses down center stage with his knish. He looks at a portly member of the audience.
You know what I mean, yes? A jatzer, a person who eats beyond the call of duty because his brains are in his belly. Call him a fat man, a large man, maybe even a wealthy, healthy man, although not necessarily a wise man. Sorry, having trouble scrolling here. Well, not necessarily a wise man. So where was it? Where was I? Ah, yes, I was beginning our story on the ocean. Crossing to this golden country where nearly 2 million Yiddish-speaking, knish-eating, pickle barrel herring, salting, challah baking immigrants arrived as the 20th century sailed in.
Crosses back to his desk, stage right, and begins to write and say aloud.
When Tevye arrived in America, the seventh day was called Saturday. To Tevye, it is a Shabbos. For Tevye, it is the Shabbos. Above the cloud, sorry, all good. 6 days a week you shall toil, says the big boss, above the clouds, and on the seventh day you shall take rest. Many younger immigrants came to a fork in the Hudson River, and could you believe they tossed their prayer shawls and books overboard? Quite tragic, no? More traditional papas like my son Tevye, the dairyman. You wonder why I call him my son? Because I created him with my trusty ink pen. My son Tevye clutched his comforting prayer shawl even tighter than before. The best. Oh, so good. You know, it is very hard to write a story with a room full of critics. Crowded New York, Lower East Side tenements with walls so thin you could smell and hear another person's kvetching. A place where there wasn't room for a mouse to steal a crumb and make his cheese sandwich.
Sighs, take out his handkerchief and removes his glasses, cleans his fountain pen, coughs, and addresses the audience.
So how is your Yiddish? It is a very old language, ancient and precious, like my grandmother's delicate music box that needs dusting and winding.
He begins to cough again, and a red spot appears on his handkerchief.
My doctors don't like this cough. You could blame them. What's to like? Well, if you aren't too busy, I've got a little story I must share with you. It is the closest to my heart because it is my very last work. It is our story. We don't want to lose our stories, no? Act 1, Scene 1, autumn in New York City.
Lights fade. Okay. Act 1, Scene 1, the melting pot. The lights come up and we see signs showing the corner of Broadway and Canal Street. It is Friday, late afternoon outside the Majestic Theater. A sign on the store front next to the theater advertises Bobo's Gelato, Avram's Knishes. Two Italian fellows, Bobo and his wannabe younger friend Frankie, are hanging out. Frankie wears a worn apron with a cigarette on his ear and chews on a toothpick. He manages the gelato shop for Bobo. The lights fade on Sholem Aleichem as he continues to cough. Frankie now coughs a few times too. Tevye arrives tired and sweaty, wearing gloves and carrying a block of ice on his shoulder and an ice hook. Tevye accidentally bumps Frankie with his ice. Frankie is now wet. Tevye is unaware of the accident and walks towards the gelato shop.
Yo, Iceman, where you going? Get yourself back here.
There I'm going to deliver your ice.
You rushing somewheres?
Of course I'm rushing. Why, the sun is setting.
Where you stepping? I almost swallowed my toothpick. What's your name?
Tevye?
Listen up, newcomer. Don't you be bumping and soaking me. I'm a genuine citizen of this great country. Now I gotta be sending my clothes to the laundry. And you, how long you been in this country watering the sidewalks?
Why do you ask? Are you writing a book about me? Boy, it will be a long book, I promise you that.
Tevye crosses to enter the gelato shop.
Hey there, wait a minute. What kind of name is that? Tevye.
You know, the rabbis teach us if you make fun of the stranger, you're really making fun of yourself. And now that you know my name, shouldn't I know your name?
Frankie, get a load of this guy. Curious, ain't ya? I'll have you know that my ancestors came here a long time ago on a boat from Sicily, land of the juicy tomato and pure virgin olive oil.
We were born here, Tevye.
You see that gelato shop? That's mine. They named me Francis Silvio Dermatelli, but in this neighborhood, they call me Bobo.
Bobo steps towards Tevye.
My ears have been hearing about the new Hebrew Iceman taking up space along above the Knish shop with this free spending sneaky big shot Avram.
Free? What?
Did your ears ever land upon the name Don Vincent Salvador?
Don Vin Salva? 3 names? He sounds like a very important person.
Takes another step now in Tevye's face.
Important? Don Salvatore? Hey, Bobo, look what we got. A greenhorn don't yet know who's in charge around here. For your information, Mr. Salvatore takes care of all the people in the neighborhood. Capiche?
I assist him, and Frankie here assists me. We straighten out problems. You say we're hits, 2 right hands, ain't we, Frankie?
I'm thinking this one is named Jack, and I call this one Johnson.
So tell me, Tevye, how did you get into this ice business?
My brother-in-law, Avram, knew somebody from the docks, who knew somebody from the farmer's market, and that person knew someone else from the theater's Knish shop, a friend of a friend of a friend, you might say.
Knew someone? He knew the same man I know, my uncle. The man is everybody's boss and your landlord.
I landlord? Good to know, Mr. Bobo.
Oh, and by the way, Iceman, what's with you people talking funny?
Talk funny? Who is talking funny?
Yesterday I was over on Hester Street doing my business, collecting some numbers.
You collect numbers?
That's what I do. I help people with their numbers.
That's to be counted. Chickens?
Yo, Bobo, listen to this funny guy. Chickens.
In America, if you pick the right number, you get rich.
It's called gambling, duh. A chance to win a ticket out of this neighborhood to the hoity-toities on the Upper East Side. Don't your people gamble?
8 nights of Hanukkah, we spin the dreidel. It's good fun, but no way to earn a living. You know, our good rabbis do not allow a gambler to be a witness in court. Lucks and tricks are no way to make honest wages.
Whoa there. Me and Frankie are more than honest. We lose, we pay up. Okay, yeah, I'm less honest when I need to win. So anyway, yesterday I minded my own business. Your Avram.
Avram?
Yeah, your Avram had the nerve to call me a something.
Schlamuzel? Though you should not confuse a schlamuzel with a schmendrick. Or were you asking about a schlamil? What exactly did he call you?
Yo, Frankie, I think he's trying to confuse me.
Yeah, Bobo, I'm thinking he's a wise guy. Maybe we gotta knock some sense in his button.
Slow down your horses, gentlemen. Perhaps you don't know, but not every schlamazel is a schlamil, and not every schlamil is a schmendrick.
You're not making any sense to me. Is he making any sense to you, Frankie?
I don't hear no sense.
Most importantly, he didn't call you a schmuck, did he?
A schmuck? A schmuck? A schmuck, I know he didn't call me because he's still walking with 2 unbroken legs. Well, it don't matter to me what any of you call my people. We were here long before your big schnoz, Avram.
It was nice talking to Mr. Bobo and to you, Mr. Frankie. Please, excuse me, it is nearly Shabbos. I better deliver this to your icebox and get myself home before my Golda gives me a looking cup.
And just what might that be?
It's what happens when she breaks a bottle of Manischewitz over my head.
Tevye exits into the gelato shop as Don Salvador enters the scene.
Frankie, it's time for you to make like a good boy and find your way home. I've got some business to discuss with Bobo.
I'll lock up. You go get yourself into some trouble. After, you head over to the track for the night's attendance numbers.
One more thing, Frankie.
Yes, Mr. Salvatore?
Don't you forget to swing by the track and give King James an apple-sized aspirin. I'm expecting him to cross that finish line before all the other nags. Remember, first thing in the morning, I want you to pay out the winners. Now, don't disappoint me, eh?
Of course not, boss, never.
Frankie hands his apron to Bobo and exits. Tevye enters from the gelato shop without the ice block.
I wish you gentlemen a good Shabbos.
Tevye exits.
So enjoy your weekend, Uncle. Maybe I'll be seeing you at the track tomorrow.
You rushing somewhere?
I got plans, Uncle.
You got plans. Break them. You're joining me for dinner.
Dinner? But my girl Tina. We're going over to your favorite sister, Mama Leone. You know I'm over the moon for my mama's cannoli. And a sauce? Lips smacking delicious.
Hey, slow down your mouth. We're going to Avram for dinner. We got to make sure he's respecting the tomatoes and respecting our money. Besides, I want to look-see at Avram's growing family, especially our new Iceman.
You fooling with me? That clown Iceman I was just talking to?
Please don't be like your impatient-tempered old man. And now he ain't with us. Rest in peace.
Hearing his father's name mentioned, Bobo gives Don Salvador a strong stare.
With that look, my hands are clean, Bobo. Your mama knows that.
Yeah, I hear you. Ooh, my Tina ain't gonna be too happy. I stood her up last Friday night for a poker game. I did take home 57 big ones.
I got a strategy for these people. If we do things with our brains, we'll line our pockets with green. First, that Avram got to understand some tomatoes are off limits. Capiche?
Haven't I been complaining he's crushing us? We're leaking coins. He's got his dancing showgoils more dolled up than my mama does for Sunday church.
Settle down and listen up. The last I've heard, we Italians ain't been called the chosen people. We'll be good to them. And their bosses upstairs will be good to us.
Uncle, what are you saying? God is a Jew?
I've been taught God's only son was a Jew. So what does that say about the father?
Well, maybe that Tevye isn't as dumb as he acts. I did hear he's got 2 daughters, and the one that's always hanging around the theater, she's kind of easy on the eyes. I'd be happy to see her at the end of my cannoli.
Smacks Bobo's cheek.
Now, don't be a gutter, Ginny. She's not one of us. You'll learn to be patient, nephew. Patience.
Blackout.